Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Wavy and this is Just Wavy Media, and if you're a frequent surfer, you guys are most welcome back as well. You will see, not from what I'm wearing because all of my Hercules related clothing, which is mostly Hades related clothing, is now way too big for me, but you will see from the description that today's video is in celebration of the 25th anniversary of the release of Hercules, which came out in June 1997. Just to make you feel old, yeah, 25 years ago Hercules came out. And so today what I'm doing is the Hercules Pin Tag. So this tag was created by Seth Lavender over on his channel. I will link his channel above there and in the description below so that you can go check Seth out and find his video. He's also just after doing a 0 to hero Hercules box swap with a few other channels. I'm not in that, but there's some great channels in it, some great Hercules items if you like Hercules. And part of that box swap had to be that they had to do an item that was from a small shop to bring the small shops from 0 to hero, which I thought was really cool, like as a small business owner or like an independent artist selling on Etsy, that kind of thing. But back to this video. This is the Hercules Pin Tag. So I was tagged to do this by Oo-de-LollyB, and I will link her channel up above and in the description as well, and I will also put a card to her video up there too so that you can go and watch that. And what it basically is there's prompts, and the prompts are quotations from Hercules, and then Seth has come up with like a pin theme for each of those Hercules quote prompts, and we have to match that prompt, that quote, with one of our pins. Now they don't have to be Hercules pins, and in fact I think I've only got one Hercules pin in my collection of 10 for this video, but we just had to do a pin that made us, when we read that quote, what pin did we think of? Now my pin collection isn't very extensive. I have a big Hercules collection, I have a small Aladdin collection, I have a few Wishables, a few Star Wars, you know, like a lot of Mickey Mouse, a few owls, but not much. And so there was a lot of things, you know, when I first heard the prompts watching other people's videos, that I was like, oh, I wish I had a pin of this or that or the other thing. But I have found 10 pins to fit into the 10 prompts, so we're just gonna get into it. So I've written my stuff down, what pins match which quote, because I totally forget, in my little Grogu notebook, because I don't have a Hercules notebook either. But yeah, so we're gonna get to it. So number one.
Honey, you mean Hercules.
And so this was to show a pin of a hunk who put the gliding gladiator. And so for this prompt, the hunk who puts the gliding gladiator, I went for this pin of Spider-Man No Way Home. So you can see here, I still have it on the backer card. I actually keep it in my pin folio on the backer card. It won't twist the right way, but anyway. So this you can see is half of the like inside out costume and half of the normal way costume from Spider-Man No Way Home that Tom Holland wears. So Tom Holland is my hunk who puts the gliding gladiator for this pin tag, and we've got the Spider-Man pin here from Spider-Man No Way Home. This was a limited release, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, it's not a limited edition, it's a limited release. But that is my only Marvel pin, I think. And that's my first pin. Number two, now I have a pin that like actually says a bit of this quote, but the prompt was slightly different. I have a slider pin that has it, but not. Anyway, so the quote is what Panic always says whenever Pain and him do something wrong.
You mean if he finds out?
Of course he's gonna put... If is good.
And so the prompt for that was a spinner or a hinged. So for my spinner or hinged pin, I chose this one. So this one has, you can see the hinges here and on the other side as well here. So this is like a Mickey head shape. I've got a few pins like this that are Mickey head shape. There's another one in this video. It's got Mickey Mouse on it. And then you can't really see, so you can see the stars, but you can't really see where it says it was all started with. Just behind that, there's kind of Walt's face, but you can't really see it. So you have it was all started with, and then you've got Mickey Mouse, and he's pin on pin. So it's like pin on pin on pin. So this is like pin on pin on pin, because you've got it was all started with, then you've got Mickey Mouse, and then you've got the pin that opens. So he's a pin, that's a pin, and then on the back there's like another pin. So when you open it up, you see some black and white images of Mickey Mouse, and then there's also Walt and his signature, and he's looking down at Mickey. They kind of cut his face off a little bit in it, which is kind of sad, but he's there looking down at Mickey Mouse. And so I thought this was a really cool pin. This is just an open edition pin that I got when I was in the parks last November, but it's really, really cool because it's Walt and Mickey. So prompt number 3 is I can go the distance. And so for this one, we were asked for either a physically long pin or a pin from our most extensive collection. So I went for a physically long pin for this one, and the one I have chosen is the Victor Geist Funko Pop with the organ pin from the Haunted Mansion. So if you know the Haunted Mansion, or if you don't know the Haunted Mansion, as you go through it, you come into a ballroom, there's people dancing, there's a big table full of ghosts, and then you come to the end of the room and there's an organ, and there's a ghost playing the organ, and there's like ghosts coming out of the pipes of the organ as well. And that's Victor Geist, who's this guy. This is the Funko Pop version of him, and this is like a Funko Pop pin. This was limited release, was it? Yeah, that's limited release, not limited edition. But I just want to show you in comparison to the last pin I showed you how much longer it is. So it's about twice the length. So this is probably the longest pin in my collection. It's quite big. Number 4 is...
But you... aren't you a damsel in distress?
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress. I can handle this. Have a nice day.
And so the prompt was a Disney lady who can take care of herself. And so for this one, I have picked Jessie, this Jessie wishable pin from Toy Story Mania, from the Toy Story franchise, of course, or Woody's Roundup franchise within the Toy Story franchise. And she's got Andy written on her foot there, which is really cool. And she's got a little rabbit, and you can see the target from the Toy Story Mania ride that's in Disney's California Adventure and is also in Disney's Hollywood Studios, I think, but is not in Toy Story Playland in Paris. Paris, make your park better. So that is my lady who can look after herself, is Jessie from Toy Story. So for pin number 5, the quote is,
My favorite part of the game. Sudden death.
And so we just had to show an evil character for this one. And so my evil character comes from that Artfully Evil series that they did in 2021. And so I got this when I was in the parks as well. This is the Prince John from Robin Hood pin. And so it kind of looks like it's from the Book of Kells, which is Irish, not English, but that's okay. So Prince John, of course, being one of the kings of England, signed the Magna Carta. And he has a castle here in my city called King John's Castle. And this Artfully Evil pin with the kind of little diamondy things around it is a pin of him, and my evil pin. And this was a limited edition. There was 3,000 of these made. So that's pretty cool. Prompt number 6 is one of the best songs from Hercules, I Have to Go the Distance. It's Zero to Hero. And so it's someone who came out of nowhere to make a name for themselves. So for this one, I've got a kind of a strange pin, and I think you'll think it's strange, but I'll explain. So my pin choice for this pin, this prompt, was Queen Amidala, Padme. So it says leader there. She is in her royal Naboo robes, the ones that you have audiences with her in, and the queen after her, I think her name was like Jamila or something. she also wore similar robes, and strange choice, right? Because she's a queen, so she didn't come out of nowhere. But in Star Wars, she's the queen of a planet, and then she becomes more important and onto central stage because she becomes a senator in the Galactic Republic. So she kind of comes out of nowhere when you consider Naboo as just a small planet, you know, and ends up on this intergalactic stage. And then obviously becomes more important because the Trade Federation hate her and want her dead. And then she also becomes the mother of Luke and Leia. And Leia, of course, becomes kind of the leader of the Resistance and the Rebellion and the Republic a little bit. And Luke becomes leader of the Jedi. So she comes out of nowhere and becomes very important. Also, I chose this for another reason, and that's because this pin is made by, does it say her? Yeah, it's Her Universe. So Her Universe, if you don't know, is Ashley Eckstein's company, and Ashley Eckstein is like another example of somebody who's come out of nowhere. She was the voice of Ahsoka Tano in the Clone Wars movie, and then the Clone Wars series, and then she's become just this like almost goddess of nerddom because of her Universe brand and her involvement in Disney parks and in Star Wars and stuff. She was recently interviewing loads of people on the stages at Star Wars Celebration. So I didn't choose this just for the character in the pin, although Amidala is class. I chose it as well because of the brand of the pin, that it was from Her Universe. So both the person behind it and the person who is on it are a person who's come out of nowhere to make a name for themselves. So the next prompt was,
People always do crazy things when they're in love.
and we were to show a pin about love. Hilariously, I have 0 couple pins in my collection. I don't have like a Mickey and Minnie together. I don't have a Meg and Hercules. I don't have an Aladdin and Jasmine. I don't have an Anna and Kristoff. I've got none of them, which is quite funny. But what I do have for this one is Aphrodite. And Aphrodite, as you know, is the goddess of love. So that makes sense, right? Here's the goddess of love for the love prompt round. So Aphrodite is from Hercules. Actually, so this is a second Hercules one. I have 2 Hercules ones in this, but this is Aphrodite. And this is from that God's Mystery Pin collection, which I'm trying to get all of. I don't have all of them yet. If you've got the ones that I need, you can let me know and I will pin trade with you. And then the next one, the quote is, "Whoa, is my hair out?" From when Hades' flamey hair goes out.
Someone left me in, but... Whoa, is my hair out?
And the prompt was a pin that makes you laugh. So I mentioned earlier about having a pin that says if is good on it. So this pin makes me laugh. This is one of those, it was from the set, like the Villain's Graves set. And so if you can see there, it says Hades. Oh, I'm not holding it well. Yeah, so if you can see there, it says Hades. And then here it says, if he gets out of there, he's not going to be happy. And then underneath it says, if is good. So you've got Pain and Panic there, and they're obviously worried about Hades getting out. So Pain says to Panic, or so Panic says to Pain, if he gets out of here, he's not going to be happy. And Pain says, if he gets out of here, and then Panic says, if is good. And then what happens, if you look at the top, the slider element, Hades can pop out and be grumpy with them, and it's not good because he has gotten out. So this is the pin that makes me laugh because of what it says, and then the fact that Hades can like slide out from the back of it and look down on the two of them. That's a funny pin. This was a limited edition as well. It's a limited edition of 5,000, and I got this when I was in Disneyland in November as well. And then prompt number 9, the quote is,
Guys, Olympus would be that way.
and this was the pin that traveled the furthest to get to your house. And so for this prompt, I have chosen, because I think it's probably one that has come the furthest, this Mickey head but it's made up of two swirling dragons that are kind of facing off against you. And they look kind of like flame. It's red, it's swirly, it's a Mickey head. It's really cool. And if you look in the back, this comes from Disneyland in Shanghai. So I would think this is the one that has come the furthest because it's come from Disneyland Shanghai. I've got two pins from Hong Kong as well. And I've got two other pins I think from Shanghai. But I would say Shanghai is further from here, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think this is the one that has come the furthest because it's come from Disneyland in Shanghai. And it's really cool. It's very simple. What is it that Bob Iger said about Disneyland Shanghai? That it was to be authentically Disney. I can't remember. Anyway, somethingly Disney and authentically Chinese or something. And that is what this pin is. It is Disney and Chinese. We've got the Chinese dragon inside in the Mickey head. So really cool one. One of the first pins I've ever gotten. And then number 10, pin number 10. The quote is, "A true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the size of his heart." And the prompt was a pin with the most heart. And so for that one, I've chosen this pin, which is from Magic at Your Door. And it's literally the pin with the most heart because it's a big giant heart. And it's the pin that came out from Magic at Your Door in February 2020. So it's Valentine's Day themed. You've got like the kind of firework confetti stuff. It looks actually like the foozles that they put in Magic at Your Door boxes. So this is one of this. I got this in the first Magic at Your Door box that I got in June 2020, I think. I will link the video above. And so it's a big giant heart. So this is the pin I have with the most heart. This was a limited edition. Magic at Your Door made 300 of them. And I have one of them here. So that's really cool. And yeah, there's a giant heart on it. So definitely fits the criteria for this part of the pin tag. Okay, and so that is all 10 of the pins for this Hercules pin tag. I'm gonna tag 4 people. So I want to tag Sinead over Collections Never Complete, who is another Irish YouTuber. I will link her in the description below. Sinead, I don't know if you collect pins, I don't know if you have pins, but if you do and you would like to do the tag, we use the hashtag Hercules Pin Tag so that we can find them all. So you can do the tag as well if you want to. I'm also going to tag, because I don't think they've done it, and I know they are getting very into pins, Two Tiny Wings, Pete and Ali. I was looking to see if you had a video on this, and I'm surprised nobody has tagged you in this, but if they have, I'm sorry, and maybe you have a video, you can send it to me. If not, I'm tagging you guys. I'd love to see what pins you would come up with for this Hercules pin tag over at Two Tiny Wings as well. And I'm going to tag 2 bigger YouTubers who are also Disney people, and I think both of them like Hercules, but I don't know if either of them have any pins or if they would even make a pin tag video, but I'm going to tag them anyway. So Gregory Gaige, I'm going to tag Greg and see if he has pins. I think he likes Hercules. I'm not 100% sure. Gregory, if you do and you feel like making a video, awesome. And then I'm going to tag Patrick Dougall because I know he loves Hercules. He has a video on one of his channels singing the I Can Go to the Distance song. So he's a big Hercules person. He also dresses up as Hercules prior to being Hero Hercules. I don't know if he has any pins. He probably does. I'm not sure. He's a big Disney guy. But I'm going to tag him as well and see if he'll make this video. Probably not. He's got like 200,000 subscribers. He's got better things to be doing. But we'll tag him anyway and see if he does. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a like if you liked it. Let me know in the comments below who you like from Hercules. Do you watch Hercules? Did you like Hercules? Is it one of the movies you like, or is it one of the movies you skip? Hit that subscribe button to keep the tide coming in. Click the notification bell so that you know the next time I post a video. There is a Disneyland Paris trip coming soon. What are we into now? It's like 2 weeks from now, I'd say. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's like 2 weeks from now, I think. So there will be more Disneyland Paris videos for you guys on this channel soon. Yeah. And thank you for surfing on a channel that's just wavy enough for surfing. I hope you have a magical day, guys. Take care, and I'll see you real soon.